Our vision of the 22nd century at Sky ITM Capital is of a resilient, sustainable city of the future, in which humans and nature can coexist in regenerative, circular systems. We are facing an unprecedented, man-made, existential crisis that needs urgent action. This is why the design of Singapore 2100 is not an unattainable, futuristic idea, but a way to transform our existing cities and mobility infrastructure based on strategies, innovations, and innovative technologies that are already available today. The Dixon Electric City vision is based on the current models of major capital cities. A city within a garden. We have reviewed what works, and what certainly isn't sustainable. Our vision of the future, such as our land reclamation projects, shall be seen, with significant reduction of private-owned vehicles, and our reliance of dirty petroleum-based fuel, within the pedestrian-centric development. Envisioning a near elimination of heat-absorbent asphalted freeways, where efficient mass rail transportation and personal mobility vehicles shall be implemented. By taking on a future-positive attitude and taking immediate action, we can bring about a change that secures a future for all living beings. This animation was first shown at the International Built Environment Week 2021 as a part of the Be Inspire Blue Sky ITM talks with talented influential architects at Woha, Singapore.
It is unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land. No matter what we do, we are locked into 30 years of worsening climate impacts. The climate crisis is not the only one we are facing. Closely tied to it are our energy, food, and water crises. We are already facing unspeakable human suffering as a result of natural disasters. This suffering will increase as the climate impact worsens. Today, we are consuming the equivalent of 1.7 times of what planet Earth can provide. It is this relentless, unsustainable consumption and expansion into natural spaces that is leading to deforestation, loss of grasslands, mangroves and wetlands, and the loss of biodiversity. But that does not mean that we should give up. There is still a window in which humans can influence the climate path. But we need to take decisive actions now with a long-term view towards our future. The UN climate report shows that aggressive, rapid, and widespread emissions cuts, beginning now, could limit the warming beyond 2050. Singapore is on the right path. Though small in size and limited in resources, the island nation is striving to do its part with good, far-sighted governance and policies. It has committed to make the transition to negative carbon emissions, self-sufficiency, and circular systems. Singapore will be a livable, sustainable, and resilient city of the 22nd century. It will be a place where humans and nature coexist in regenerative, circular systems. In the future, Singapore has transformed into an even more lush and green city-state. It is a home for humans and other living beings alike. It provides its residents with a great quality of life, with lots of amenities and community spaces that encourage a healthy and active lifestyle. Singapore is built for resilience. Biodiversity is thriving. It is self-sufficient in renewable energy, water and food, and is carbon neutral in its operations and in embodied energy. Yet Singapore is land limited. Its natural constraints have been a catalyst for the development of innovative solutions. In the future, it shrinks its urban footprint to be equal to 1 Earth or less. Singapore is an example that demonstrates how we can integrate circular systems into cities and enable change that benefits humans, the built environment, and nature. In the future, living, working, learning, and playing does not take place solely in dedicated spaces like offices or classrooms. Our neighbourhoods will transform from mono-use to multi-use districts and cater to every aspect of our daily lives. Our built environment will be designed and built safely, faster, more efficiently, and sustainably. Construction will be planned and controlled remotely, driven by automation and high technology. Humans are mostly off-site, and construction work is done mostly by drones and robots. Building typologies are flexible, adaptable, and future-proof. They are designed for final disassembly and the repurposing of materials in a circular system. Production and logistics can be located in subterranean levels. Innovative technologies like robotics, cobots, and AI are seamlessly integrated into workflows and the built environment. Our work and schooling is not solely desk-bound. Where we work from is flexible, and our workplaces are adaptable. Food production is decentralized and integrated into our three-dimensional city. Plant-based and cell-based food is produced on demand right at our doorstep. We have ample human and community-centric public spaces that allow us to enjoy our free time in our neighbourhood. Having these spaces nearby means we don't need to commute much anymore. Being close to amenities encourages us to stay active and spend time in nature. And we can spend more quality time with our loved ones at home. I propose that only by committing half of the planet's surface to nature can we hope to save the immensity of life forms that compose it. Edward O. Wilson, in Half-Earth. The 50-50 city commits half of its footprint to nature and the other half to urban spaces. This strikes a balance between natural and man-made systems. It restores and regenerates climatic and ecological systems, allowing biodiversity to thrive. Humans become the stewards of these nature reserves within their city and build a relationship with flora and fauna. By reserving 50% of the city for nature, biophilic environments are created that benefit all living creatures and provide valuable ecosystem services. Services like filtering our air, cooling down the ambient temperature, providing shade, and producing the oxygen we need to survive. These natural spaces provide habitats for all kinds of animals, bringing biodiversity back into the city. In the future, our cities will undergo transformations to be people, community, and nature-centric. The future of mobility moves us away from busy above-ground roads full of private vehicles to mainly public modes of transportation. Roads gradually transform, reducing the number of lanes as demand falls due to a diverse and inclusive mobility system. Ultimately, they turn into green pathways for healthy and active mobility like walking, cycling, and PMDs. They are paved with PV panels that generate solar energy. On-demand autonomous vehicles transport us above and below ground, even underwater. The ground level is freed up for people and nature. Because highways and other urban connections are moved to lower and subterranean levels. We can navigate the city three-dimensionally, above ground, underground, and through the skies. The city will have space for nature to thrive, creating untouched habitats for biodiversity and fostering a sense of stewardship for our natural world. We have to restore nature. Our survival depends on it. Rewilding the city means giving substantial parts of the urban environment back to nature and natural spaces, and letting them run their course without much human interference. We care for nature by not taming it and giving it room to breathe. We create natural environments for a rich diversity of animals to make their home in. In turn, these spaces give back to us, triggering our biophilic response that gives us a sense of wellness and calm. Providing us with ecosystem services like cleaner air and water and cooler, more comfortable temperatures. Moving from segregated 2D urban planning to innovative integrated 3D planning saves time, space, energy, and emissions and increases people's quality of life. Our lives take place within a three-dimensional 15-minute sphere. "3D planning allows us to intensify land use both horizontally and vertically, with multiple ground levels and multiple urban connections from below ground to the sky. The high-density, high-rise, high-amenity urban planning approach layers and integrates systems vertically. There is a subterranean services and logistics layer, commercial, community and nature layers on or near ground level, residential, food production, work and office layers in the middle, and aerial, drone and energy layers at the top. We need to take urgent, aggressive action to save our planet. Our survival depends on it. We have already surpassed crucial tipping points. But if we commit to making drastic changes in the way we plan and build cities, we can make a significant positive impact. In order to strike a balance between human needs and our natural world, we have to put regenerative strategies in place. Nature strategies. Conservation, protection and restoration of our forests, mangroves, grasslands and wetlands, as well as reversing desertification by planting vegetation. This increases rainfall in extremely dry regions. integration of natural systems into our built environment that sustain clean air and water and provide a multitude of benefits to humans and wildlife. Land use strategies. Committing 50% of the city to natural habitats and the other half to urban spaces. Reversing urban sprawl and shrinking the footprint of our cities by planning and building three-dimensionally. Cities will be taller and denser, but also more livable. Our 15-minute vertical cities will have decentralized urban centres, putting us closer to amenities and encouraging walkability. This reduces the need for carbon-intensive transport. Resource strategies. Using permaculture farming techniques instead of widely prevalent monoculture farming. This helps to restore the soil, conserve water, and builds crop resilience. Integrate urban farms into our cities on underused surfaces like rooftops and facades. This increases the efficiency of our food production and boosts food security. A move to a largely plant-based diet, as well as ramping up cell and lab-based food production. Socioeconomic strategies. Implementing circular systems in our economies and cities with well-integrated material cycles that support natural cycles. Ensuring the circularity of important resources will eliminate the need to exploit nature and reduce toxic byproducts. Our cities have to become carbon neutral or negative to stop the climate from spiralling out of control and to give us the last chance we have to reverse the effects of climate change. We have to take urgent and decisive action immediately and stop seeing ourselves at opposing ends with nature. Rather, we need to see ourselves as a part of nature and create a livable and beautiful built environment for all.